I think something that leads me to is you talk about dark places and the discipline of the Lord, and how it refines us. I mean, the Bible says he'll refine us like silver, he'll test us like silver. And it says in Hebrews 12, do not take lightly the discipline of the Lord, for he's regarding you as sons,
Right.
regarding you as children. And it reminds me another passage that's very applicable to this theme of branch. And I'm of course drawn to pride. Is we have in Isaiah 1-3 as a primer for our text that we read today, is that Isaiah is dealing with a very haughty Israel, a very uplifted Israel. They've whenever their first king came along, Saul, they revealed to God, hey, we want a king to rule over us. Of course, you're going to feel the disappointment in God. Like God's going to be like, man, I'm your king, but fine, I'm going to give you a king anyway. And so now we have this exalted state of Israel, and God has allowed them to be overtaken by this exalted state. I mean, it says in Romans 1, there's this state of depravity of giving over. If you want that desire, you know what? You can have it.
And Samuel even struggled with that.
Yes, yeah.
Talking to God, like, this can't be your will. He's like, it's not.
Right.
You know the end result. Let them have what they want.
Right. And you have this whoring after nations, and God's jealous. And he's like, man, I'm sick of your sacrifices. I'm sick of these things that you're giving me because you're so puffed up in pride, and you're measuring your status in this world. You're weighing how you appear from others, because back then they had an honor shame society, how they're viewed from the community. You're weighing that as more important than your audience of one. So you're looking at how the world's looking at you, and that's more important than how I define you, how I look at you. And so you have in 4:2, it says, in that day the branch of the Lord shall be fruitful and glorious, and the fruit of the land shall be the pride of and honor of the survivors of Israel. And he who is left in Zion and remains in Jerusalem will be called holy, everyone who has been recorded for life in Jerusalem, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion and cleanse the bloodstains of Jerusalem from its midst by a spirit of judgment and a spirit of burning. So you have this kind of picture that Israel's taking pride in this new state of life. It's not pride from a puffed up point of view, from all my earthly honor, all my glory. I mean, it says in Corinthians, Paul says, a little leaven leavens the entire lump. Just a little bit of pride. I mean, the root of all evil is pride. The root of sin is pride. It comes from your own passion. It says you were following the principalities of this world. You're following the passions of your flesh, but God showed up. And so you have like this yeast is puffing up. It'll keep puffing up and puffing up and puffing up until you have God saying, no more. I'm going to humble you because I love you. And I think, this is kind of a neat picture I was thinking of the other day. I was writing an essay for school. I was thinking of the as in the medical world, you have something called cardiac tamponade. So you have this swelling of a heart, this called a pericardium, which is a sac around your heart. It's the kind of that film around your heart that protects your heart a little bit, but fluid can get inside of that film, and it'll expand. And the water, what it does is it compresses the heart to the point where it can't beat anymore. So you have this ring around the heart, and so much water gets in there, so much fluid gets in there that the heart's caged. It's like caged like an animal, suffocated, unless a paramedic goes in there and pokes a hole in it and releases that pressure, releases the fluid. Just like Jesus is like, we're going to be puffed up, and we're going to have hearts of literal stone. There's not going to be any beating going on. You have Ezekiel 36 and 37, like, I'll make your heart of stone a heart of flesh, because of that pride. But yet the branch comes in, and he says, though you are weeds, and though you're stubborn and you're wayward, you have backsliding ways, you consume the poor, and you overtake the hungry, I still am going to say, I want you. And it's going to go good for you. And not because you did anything to deserve it, because I know humbling you will make you new.